Alright, so literally this entire video, I called it Super Dragon Ball Heroes. It's Dragon Ball Super Superheroes. It is late, man. Alright, I'm sorry. So, I watched Super Dragon Ball Heroes, and it is just okay. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I definitely hold the opinion that out of these new big four Dragon Ball movies, it comes in fourth, and it is not that great in compared to the previous three. Now, I just want to be clear. Me criticizing the movie doesn't mean that I don't like it. I'm telling you right now, I thought that it was fine, and I'm probably going to see it again once I get a chance. Not in theaters though, probably once the Blu-ray comes out. That being said though, there are some things I didn't like. The things that I don't like are not objective wrongdoings of this movie. They're just things that I don't particularly love. I truly thought that I was going to be in love with this movie because it is focusing on Piccolo and Gohan. Gohan being my favorite character from all of Dragon Ball, and Piccolo being my favorite character from all of Dragon Ball for a very long time when I was a kid. But unfortunately, that is not the reality. The truth is, if I had one major thing I did not like from each movie previous to Super Dragon Ball Heroes, all of those issues exist in this movie, and that kind of sucks. That being said though, if you just wanted a straightforward answer in someone's opinion on the movie, it's fine. It's still just Dragon Ball, man. So if you like Dragon Ball, just give it a shot, and I'm sure you'll come out on the other side saying, hey, that's just something I can add to my long list of Dragon Ball media I've seen, and it was cool. It's Dragon Ball, man. It's really hard to mess it up at this point, especially considering the fact that if you're anyone with any type of sense, you don't take Dragon Ball too serious at this point, and it's more of like a comfort series for you. If you are in that mentality and you are in that group of people, just give it a watch, man. It's fine. I think you'll come out saying that was cool, and that'll be that. For the people who want the real nitty gritty, then the rest of this video is going to be for you. So, spoiler alert, if you have somehow managed to, one, care about this movie, two, know it's going to come out, because lots of people don't even know it's coming out, which is a whole other topic about Toei doing a very poor job managing the marketing on this project, and a few other miscues they did with this rollout that I'm not going to talk about. But Geekdom, who is another anime YouTuber, well, he's not really an anime YouTuber, he's more of just a strict Dragon Ball YouTuber, he made a great video talking about all that stuff. So I'll have that on the screen now, the thumbnail, and I'll link that down below. Real good video that has some things that really needed to be said and touched on. That aside though, if you do care about Dragon Ball and you care about this movie and you know it's been coming out and you've been looking forward to it, and you somehow managed not to be spoiled between now and the time that the movie released in Japan 2 months ago, then please leave now. You are doing yourself a great injustice if you let some YouTuber or some Twitter post spoil it for you. I promise the best things about the movie are really the things that are going to instantly get spoiled for you. They're going to be the things that people are talking about the most. You know how spoilers work, man. So I'm telling you right now, if you really want to enjoy this movie, please try to avoid spoilers for the time being. The time I'm releasing this is the day of for a lot of people, and the day after for other people of the movie's like big theatrical international release. So I'm trying to avoid spoiling people because I really think you need to go in blind to really get the most out of this movie. That being said though, if you don't care about that, or you've already seen the movie and you're just looking for my opinion on it, we're gonna start right now. So I'm not going to be too harsh on the writing of Dragon Ball because, I mean, it's Dragon Ball, guys. We should all know what we're getting by now, right? Short plot rundown. Red Ribbon Army is back. They want to come in full force. They need some help doing that. So the leader of the Red Ribbon Army reaches out to the grandson of Dr. Gero and gets him to make some androids and things like that to help conquer and take over the world. One of those new androids and machines that Dr. Gero makes, or not Dr. Gero, the grandson of Dr. Gero, excuse me, is a new variation of Cell called Cell Max, which is something I have an issue with, but I will explain later on in the video. And it is up to Piccolo and Gohan to save the day and stop Cell Max, because Vegeta and Goku and Broly and Beerus and Whis and everyone else, they're not available because Piccolo and Bulma called them and they ain't pick up. And yeah, that's the reason Goku and Vegeta are in this movie. Look, man, I want to cut up some slack. Any reason they came up with was probably going to be really silly, so fine, give them a pass. They didn't want Goku and Vegeta in the movie, understandably so. I get it, whatever. Moving on. I'm not going to give a whole detailed plot breakdown because, again, it's Dragon Ball, man. You guys know how this goes. Let's just jump to the final climactic battle that everyone's going to be talking about. That's the highlight of this movie, which is Gohan and Piccolo and some others going up against Cell Max. Now, again, out of the new big 4 Dragon Ball movies, this one's definitely the worst for me. And I have my own individual qualms about each Dragon Ball movie and things that I don't like. Talking about the new age Dragon Ball movies, of course. And in this movie, it holds its own issues along with other issues the previous films have, which is really disappointing to say out loud. So I should explain. And again, these are all just my own opinions. So I'll start with Battle of Gods and Broly. I don't really enjoy how they introduced Gogeta and they introduced Super Saiyan God, and those things don't really last too long or get too flushed out. It seemed a lot like boom, they were here, and then boom, they were gone. It just felt almost to the point of like, well, why even have those things, right? But you know why they have those things, obviously, because they're hype, they're cool, and they're trying to market the movie and, you know, create excitement within fans. So it's fine. I get it. I completely understand. That issue translates into this movie in the form of Gohan getting a new power-up, as I'm sure many of you have already heard about. The new Beast Gohan transformation or whatever. Not only does that transformation not last long, like in those other 2 films, where their big spectacle transformations don't last all that long, you don't even really get to see him do much in the small length of time that Gohan has this transformation. He just instantly one-shots Cell Max, and that's really, really disappointing. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just being a hater. Maybe my expectations weren't calculated the correct way. I'm not really sure. But I wanted to see Gohan actually do something in the form, not just let off one giant ultimate attack. The other issue I had looking past Battle of Gods and Broly is with Resurrection of F. I just don't even enjoy the fact that that movie exists, solely because I get it, people love him, he's like the most popular villain, but I'm really tired of Frieza popping up over and over and over and over again. Although I fully acknowledge that Frieza is not my favorite character from the Dragon Ball properties, he's not really high up there in that list for me, and there are people who genuinely really love Frieza, and anytime they can get him, they will take him. So I guess you can say my big issue with that movie is just reusing already established characters who we're kind of supposed to be done with, right? So translate that into Super Dragon Ball Heroes. I'm sure you can see where this is going. This whole Cell Max thing, corny, bro, corny. Really hate it. But I hate it more in this movie because we don't even get the luxury of really getting to see Cell, quote unquote, come back. He shows up at the last 30 or so minutes, maybe a little bit less than that, of the movie. And when he's finally revealed, he's this giant kaiju type monster who has no personality, no thoughts of his own. He's just out to destroy. And that's somehow more disappointing than if just Cell was brought back, for a multitude of reasons. So because he's this giant kaiju type monster, which, by the way, heads up, I just again really like to display my likes and dislikes with things to again kind of show that I'm not saying that whatever I point out here are objective wrongdoings of the movie. It's just my own personal opinion, and I like to give context. I really hate watching giant things fight small things, like people, normal size characters. I don't like it. I never really enjoy the action cinematography of that dynamic. So it really burst my bubble that he was this giant kaiju monster. But it simmered down a little bit because in the movie, Piccolo also gets a power up, and he uses his giant form again for the first time in a really long time. And so that whole dynamic between Gohan and Cell Max being really big, and the other characters trying to help out because, you know, Android 17's here, and Krillin's here, and Trunks and Goten are here, which, by the way, they finally aged up, and they gave a little nod and sort of a small brief explanation of why they've been kids for so flipping long, and then now they're just randomly teens. So that was cool. But Piccolo being a giant means that we don't really have to see the smaller characters interact with Cell Max all that much, which is whatever. But another thing I don't like is that Cell never really acted like this, and it feels like the only reason that they're calling him Cell Max is just to sort of push the movie a little bit more with marketing in a weird way, because he doesn't act like Cell. He doesn't really look like Cell. I mean, he kind of looks like Cell, but Cell wasn't a giant and Cell was green. This guy's a giant and he's orange. It almost feels like there was no reason to even call him Cell Max. We just kind of did it as like a little nod to be like, remember that guy? Remember that android? So yeah, you know. And there are a lot of moments like that where it's like the writers are winking at the audience, like, you know this, you know what happened, you remember that callback, and we're like, yeah, that's cool. But I did not see anyone in the movie pop off or glow up when those little nods were happening. It was like, oh yeah, okay, cool, you're doing this callback thing, thanks, I guess. And you know, that could have just been the movie crowd I was with. Maybe in a few days we'll see a viral clip of Gohan doing his new beast transformation or whatever, and everyone getting lit. Maybe it was just the people that I was with. But too many times in this movie it feels like it's just nostalgia bait, and it's not actually there for any real quality reason. But that's always a really hard and touchy subject, right? Determining what's a writing team trying to just play on the nostalgic emotions of their audience, and what's them actually showing appreciation to their audience by giving little nods and callbacks to the history and lore of their series. And the pessimist in me wants to say cash grab. They were using all these nostalgic moments as cash grabs. The optimist in me wants to say no, they were just trying to create a great cinematic experience and let you, someone a long time Dragon Ball fan, really appreciate these moments. But I don't know, man, they just feel off. It feels off. Something about this movie just feels not right. I still think it's good, and I still do genuinely believe if you're a fan of Dragon Ball, especially if you're a fan of Piccolo and Gohan, it's worth seeing, but it just felt off. It felt weird. The art style also doesn't help. I'm not a big fan of the art style, but I'm not going too hard on it. Well, I take that back. Maybe this is going hard on it, but they look like upscaled Xenoverse cutscenes, which isn't the worst thing in the world. That's just what they looked like. But the animation itself, the actual fight choreography between the other androids that exist, because there are some other guys that exist before Piccolo and Gohan have to fight Cell Max, their designs and the animation between them fighting with Piccolo and Gohan was really nice. It was really smooth. It was akin closer to the Broly animation, not in terms of its look and its style, but in terms of it having this more slowed down fluid effect versus the end of Dragon Ball Super, which a lot of the time you just saw Goku throwing rapid punches going which is cool, man, which is cool, don't get me wrong, that has its place in Dragon Ball 2, but at times I do want to see more slowed down hand-to-hand combat, and that exists in this movie. So the actual animation itself, the movements, it's fine. I just don't love the art style, but it may grow on me as I watch this movie more and more with the weeks and months to come. So all in all, because I don't want this video to be too long, I do not like the reusing of characters. And honestly, you can barely say it's a reuse because Cell or Cell Max was a complete shell of himself. He was just some giant dumb kaiju type monster. I do not love the transformation of Beast Gohan, only because it didn't last that long. The transformation itself was actually decently cool, and I like how it has white hair and red eyes, which, if you don't know, that was Akira Toriyama's first idea for the original Super Saiyan. Orange Piccolo is Orange Piccolo. No, that's cool too, man. I just don't know how often I'm gonna see Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo anytime soon in the future. I honestly say the big plus with this is it's continuing to plant the seeds and foreshadowing for how characters may potentially still have use later down the line in Dragon Ball. For a very long time, it was Goku's the bar, and every other character behind him is just kind of fodder to determine how powerful this villain really is. And it seems like with Beast Gohan and Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego and Legendary Super Saiyan Broly and whatever his powers are, we're trying to create separation between the characters so they can potentially do other things. And maybe, depending on how creative the series gets, maybe we can have certain matchups that are better than other matchups in terms of, like, let's say Ultra Instinct is the end all be all most powerful technique in Dragon Ball. Well, maybe there's a antagonist who has a hard counter against Ultra Instinct, but just because Ultra Instinct is overall the best form, maybe Gohan can step in with his Beast Gohan and he can still be useful and maybe get the job done. Or maybe Ultra Ego maybe isn't more powerful than Ultra Instinct, but it's still useful in its own right. Just doing things like that, that's cool. I appreciate that. I made a video a very long time ago talking about how I hope that's the direction the series is going in with the introduction of Broly, and it looks like that is the direction they are going in. So that is cool, and that's probably the big plus side of this, to be honest with you, is more hope for a future Dragon Ball Super anime return. But only time will tell. Ha 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 ha. If you don't know why I'm saying it like that, I've said that like a bajillion times when talking about Dragon Ball. And I just don't even know it's going to come back at this point. But that's cool. That's cool. Creating a separation of powers, giving characters their own unique skill sets is very intriguing for the future of Dragon Ball. So all in all, I'm going to give it, out of like a 100, I'm going to give it like a 78, which isn't terrible, but definitely room for growth. Honestly, I hope there are no more Dragon Ball Super movies, man. Bring back the anime or nothing. Regardless though, cool movie. Go see it if you like Dragon Ball. And specifically if you like Piccolo and Gohan. Go see it. Go watch it. There's some there. And that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed, I make videos of this quality or better all the time. And anything to say off the top of my head? No. What a surprise. I don't have a long-winded outro. Well, like I said, I make videos of this quality or better all the time. So, I am leaving.